still talking about the Anambra November 8th Guba elections and how ready the people are. We're joined by Honorable Ifeanyi Ibezi. He's a politician here to do justice to that topic. You're very much welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning.
Now, how would you assess, the preparations leading up to the elections on November 8th and also the readiness of the people of Anambra to participate actively in these elections?
Okay, thank you. Regards to the preparation, I think INEC as the umpire saddled with the responsibility of conducting elections in Nigeria is ready for the November 8th election, the governorship election in Anambra State. I'm very much aware that training for the ad hoc staff from the collation officers, the RACTED, the SEOs, the POs, and the APOs have been concluded by INEC. And I'm very much aware that non-sensitive materials have been moved to the LDK in preparation for this election. And also, the people of Anambra State is already in the mood for this election coming up on Saturday this week. We're already prepared for the election, and we're waiting for Saturday to come and go. We're ready for it.
We have 3 more days to the election. How would you assess the security situation right now, and what do you think it will look like on that day?
Day before yesterday, I was reading through the news, the print media news, and I read where the Inspector General of Police have deployed the law enforcement agencies that will secure the environment and monitor the elections across the 5,720 polling units and 326 wards in Anambra State. I noticed that the CP in charge of the November 8th election in Anambra State has been deployed to Anambra State and other law enforcement agencies. I think everything is on top here at the moment.
Can you give us an assessment in your view of... Can you hear me, Honorable Ibezi?
Go ahead.
Right. So, can you give us an assessment from your view of the candidates who currently, vying for the position of the governor of Anambra State? How would you assess, them so far and their campaigns, and who is currently topping, and who are the contenders, the major contenders of this election?
Well, in my view, as long as candidates have emerged from all the political parties in Anambra State, I think all of them are very much qualified to contest for the governorship election come this November 8th in Anambra State. But and they have done their best in their various campaign movements in Anambra State. But I can tell you that our own candidate and governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, is leading the way and is on top of it. And by the grace of God, if you look at the statistics and what is on ground, I think come November 8th, by November 9th, being Sunday, Professor Chukwuma Soludo will be announced the governor-elect of Anambra State. So I think he's leading at the moment, and you have only 2 days to the election. So there is no campaign or no statistic that will overrun what we have already put in place or calculated in terms of the analysis of the leading candidate moment.
Um, the incumbent governor Chukwuma Soludo is likely to win the election. But I'd also like you to speak on how the people of Anambra are feeling about him at the moment, because from what we have gathered so far, it seems that the people of the state are a bit disillusioned with him and his governance in the recent past. So now you're saying that he is likely to win the election. So there is a bit of disparity between how the people are feeling and what you're saying right now. So can you clear the air on that as well?
First and foremost, I want to clarify that impression. That statement is wrong. Statement is fact. What is on ground? The people of Anambra State are not deluded about the performance on the way the governor has governed Anambra in the last 3.5 years. That is a wrong impression, and I wouldn't know where you got that information or you got the statistics from. Professor Chukwuma Soludo, as a governor of Anambra State in the last 3.5 years, have met all the requirements to seek for re-election in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of institutional reform, in terms of what he met on ground and what he has done in the last 3.5 years in Anambra State. Anambra State has never seen it this good in the last 3.5 years before he came on board. And I want to say that Professor Chukwuma Soludo has done relatively well. Let me take you up on his infrastructural development, what he has achieved. Let me take road infrastructure, for example. In the last 3.5 years, Professor Chukwuma Soludo's administration have embarked on massive infrastructural revolution. He has done more than 1,000-kilometer roads across the 3 senatorial zones in Anambra State, and over 800 kilometers of road has been affected, and the other ones are ongoing. Also, I want to take you on his achievement in terms of youth empowerment. The one skill youth empowerment scheme that he has embarked on is a wonderful one, and he has empowered over 2,000 youth across the state. It's a startup business plan and mobilization. He has also, in terms of employment, in the first 1 year of his administration, he employed over 8,000 teachers in our educational sector. So, in terms of infrastructural trajectory of our dear state, he has done more than 80% achievement in that area. Are you talking about health sector? He has embarked on construction of general hospitals in the mega hospitals in the 3 senatorial zones of the state, and in the 179 communities.
Honorable Bezim.
Aspect of
Honorable Bezim, if you can hear me, I have to cut you short there, but before you continue what you were saying, how would you assess the peace accord deal that was signed in Anambra State? Do you think that it will ensure a violence-free election on November 8th?
Absolutely, absolutely. Anambra is not known for violence in any election, in the past, in the last 1 decade. So witnessing the peace accord that was signed at the International Conference Center at Water was a welcome development. And it will ensure that we have free, fair, and smooth governorship election from November.
Now, I'd also like you to talk on the issue of vote buying or some form of inducement, because a while ago we saw on the headlines that Soludo offered about 1 million naira or so to voters in Anambra State to curb voter apathy, and this came from his party, which is APGA. So I'd like you to speak on that as well, and vote buying generally, or inducement, as the case may be.
I think people miss that statement from Mr. Governor, because I attended that rally where he made a statement. He was encouraging the party faithfuls to work hard on the day of election. And after the election, he said, after the election, not during the election, after the election, any word that came first on the day of that election will have a reward. Any local government that came first will have a reward after the election, not during the election. So there is a great difference between during and after. So it's a word of encouragement for the party faithful to work very hard and ensure that they win in their various polling units, in their various wards, and in their various local governments. So I think the public misconstrued that statement from the governor of Anambra.
The police, or should we say Anambra State, said that they are going to redeploy about, say, 40,000 police officers for the election. Now, on the newspaper today, it has increased to 60,000 officers. From your opinion, don't you think it's too much? Is that what Anambra residents or voters really need at this point? And we heard the police also warning the Eastern Security Network and IPOB against interference on the election day.
It's a normal procedure in an election, especially as it concerns Anambra, where you have, in this particular election, Anambra State has 5,720 polling units. And it is expected that in every polling unit, we are going to have about 1 or 2 police officers at the polling unit station. So if you take at least one police officer in every polling unit, you have already 5,720 of them in the entire polling station. And you have 326 to work. You are expected to have police officers stationed at the ward collation center. And you have 21 local governments in Anambra State. You are expected to have law enforcement agencies in those, in all the 21 local governments. And you have a state collection center at the state. So I don't think 60,000 is bogus for this kind of election we have in Anambra, putting into consideration that we have 5,720 polling units. So it's in order.
To ask you about the incumbent governor Soludo, whom you said is currently the lead person for this election, and his behavior and some of the comments he has made towards his colleagues and his fellow contenders, within the course of the campaign and the elections long before now. There have been a lot of untoward comments and things that have been said, and now there's a peace accord being signed, or that has been signed, against all forms of negative comments and mudslidings and the likes. So I want you to speak on that as well, about his behavior and, tying it to the peace accord that was signed.
Well, that is election campaign period for you. During campaign, that is a period where everybody have the liberty to speak about their manifesto, their party manifesto, what they have achieved as a government, and what the candidate intends to achieve if elected as a governor of the state. And it's also is a period to reply whatever statement your opponent has made or made as regards to during the campaign. And I have not really find fault in the statement as you mentioned that the governor made during the campaign. I'm not here to speak for the governor. It's a campaign statement, and he's the governor of the state. He understands the gravity of whatever statement he makes, and he's the person that will defend that statement. If you recall, about 2 days ago, he has a press conference with the media houses, and he has spoken about those statements. And I think he must have defended them. So I'm not in a position to defend or speak on those statements made by the governor, because he is the candidate of our party, and he has what it takes to defend or to say what he will do, what he has done, or speak against his opponents, because his opponents are also speaking against him. They have speaking against the governor in the last 1 year, criticizing his administration. So during the campaign, it's an opportunity for him to reply some certain statements made by other parties and candidates. So it is allowed during any political setting, and especially during the campaign period. Campaign will end in the next give and take in the next 48 hours. And nobody will have the liberty to say anything again. So it is allowed by law, by the Electoral Act.
Okay, I understand that you're not here to defend the governor, but you're also speaking about the candidates generally, and the incumbent governor is currently one of the candidates, and you mentioned that he during the campaigns it's only right to respond to things that have been said to him, as well as the same way other candidates are doing. So now, if the candidates are currently speaking against each other and replying comments made towards each other, don't you think that it shows some form of lack of sportsmanship, or some sort of decorum, political decorum with their campaigns in the election?
Well, I won't speak for them because I'm not the one running for the campaign. But there are certain ingredients of campaign. During campaign, people have the freedom to say anything they feel will give them the mileage of getting the voters to vote for them, or something that will give them edge. I'm not aware of any statement made by the governor or any of the candidates that is detrimental to the smooth running of the governorship election on November 8th. But I feel that whoever that is making any campaign statement knows the gravity of the statement he or she is making, and they are in a right position to defend it. And it's for the period of the campaign.
So from what you're saying, are you saying that the candidates should be given the liberty to mudsling it, because some of the talks that they make during this campaign is mudslinging? Are you saying that they should be given the freedom to mudsling it? And why is it that the peace accord is not signed early to avert this mudslinging and thwart it? at some point? Why is it that it's not made? And with the fact that there is no consequence or legal binding to the peace accord.
Well, let me also address you on this issue of statement talking about. I don't have evidence. I don't have evidence of what the governor has said or what other candidate A, B, C, D has said. I don't have evidence of that. So if you can furnish me with that evidence on my own personal analysis, I can say that whether those statements are expected of the campaign or not. I cannot quantify the gravity of their statement. I cannot do that in this interview because I don't have the facts. Secondly, when you talk about the timing for the signing of the peace accord, usually in every election, even if it's a presidential or governorship election, if you recall, the last presidential peace accord that was signed, I think that was signed almost a week or few days to the general election in 2023. So I think it's a procedure that peace accord is usually signed few days to the election when all the talks, all the election campaign promises or statements have been made by the candidate. So it is expected that they will sign a peace accord few days to the election so that everybody will go for that election in a peaceful manner.
All right. Now, how would you assess the zoning that has been carried out in Anambra State? Is everybody well imputed?
Are you talking about issue of zoning?
Yes.
Well, zoning have come to stay in Anambra State. The last governor of the state, Governor Willie Obiano, spent 8 years, and he's from the North Senatorial Zone. During his handover, during his last lap of his administration, he announced that power is going to the North-South Senatorial Zone, and that every candidate in that election emerged from the South Senatorial Zone. That was how Professor Tupu Machas emerged as the candidate of the party, of our party, being ABGA, and became the governor of the state. Soludo is contesting for his second term in office, and after his 4 years in office, power will move to the Anambra Central Senatorial Zone. So zoning, there is no written document about zoning in Anambra State, but in principle, zoning have come to stay in Anambra State, and the people of Anambra State is enjoying zoning today.
So far, do you think that the INEC will depend on electronic transmission for the election in on 8th November?
Absolutely yes, because when we started this program, I told you that INEC have trained all the ad hoc staff that will conduct this election, starting from the election officers, the RACTEC, the SPOs, and the POs, and the APO 1 and 2. And also during their training, they made use of the beaver. It's part of their training tool, which they use for the training. So I think INEC is readily prepared for the election, and the result will be transmitted electronically, and even accreditation will be done electronically according to the Electoral Act.
So, how would you explain the mood of the Anambra people and how they are reacting to the candidates of this election, would you say that they are tilting towards one particular candidate, or what would you say that the Anambra people are feeling towards this election? Are they excited about it, or are they indifferent? Are we seeing cases of voter apathy? What is it like?
I think this is an election that the people of Anambra State will come out in mass to vote. Everybody in Anambra State, both Anambrarians outside the state, are all coming back to the state to vote on Saturday. So the awareness is there. The people, all the political parties are ready. My own party, the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, we are also ready to vote for the governor on the November 8th, being Saturday. And if you go to all the communities, the 179 communities in Anambra State, you will see that everybody is already looking forward to November 8th, being Saturday, to come out in mass to vote for the candidate of their choice. So the mood in Anambra State is election, election, election. And for our own party, we are absolutely ready to vote for our candidate, which is the governor of the state. And the people of Anambra State is also ready to vote for him.
Right. Now, finally, before we go, what do you think will be the outcome of the election on Saturday, and what is your own expectation?
The outcome of the election is already known. It's already known to the people of Anambra State. So I don't need to say that. The incumbent governor, who has done so well, will emerge victoriously on Saturday. So, and Anambra people are looking forward to that. That is the mood of the state, and that is the mindset of the people of Anambra State at the moment.
Understand that, like you said, the incumbent is going to come out victorious. But is there any other candidate that you can say is a strong contender of Soludo, or that has, that potential to possibly overthrow Soludo in the election? Any of the candidates apart from Soludo, who is a strong contender at the moment?
I'm not in their political party, but like I said in the beginning of this program, I said that all the candidates that have emerged from their various political parties are qualified to contest this election. So it is left for the people of Anambra State to choose among all the candidates their own preferred candidate. And I'm not in a position to analyze them. Who is stronger, who is in a better position to give our party a run for our readiness for the election, and the support that the governor have gathered in Anambra State. All of them are qualified. But let us wait on Saturday, when the people will start voting. You will see what will happen on that day, and the candidate the people will vote for. That's all I can say. So as far as the candidates are concerned, they are all qualified, and they have all campaigned. So let's wait and see what happens on Saturday.
Honorable Ifeanyi Bezim, thank you very much for joining us in the studio today.
Save Nature TV, news in your pocket.